years of experience across financial products, real estate, business, data analytics, and academics, having worked with organizations such as Delhi Institute of Advanced Studies, Rohini, Delhi School of Professional Studies and Research, and Square Yards, Dubai. He is certified in managerial accounting and MS Excel from Udemy and has qualified UGC NET June 2020 in management. He has attended more than 20 faculty development programs and served as a resource person in various finance seminars and workshops. We welcome you, sir. Before we begin with the presentations by our participants, let me share a few important guidelines. Keep your PPT ready for the screen sharing, and the presentation time is strictly 5 minutes. Let me call the first participant. May I now invite our first presenter, Dr. Sachin Kumar, to kindly begin the presentation. Our second participant, Dr. Priya Agarwal, kindly be ready. Over to you, Sachin, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So let me start.
Yes, sir.
So, ma'am, I'm Dr. Sachin Kumar. My co-author is Dr. Mr. Anuj Kumar. We are working in SDA Global University, Ghaziabad. So, my topic is decentralized AI universities, how both education becomes borderless, decentralized, and customized through blockchain, technology backend credentials. So, in that, challenges in traditional higher education are there in present system. Outdated curricula and rigid learning formats are there. High cost and limited global access is there. Slow, non-portable credentialing is there. Centralized institution power is there. Weak lifelong learning support is there. So poor personalization and autonomy. To manage the challenges, we have given this theory. So the role of blockchain in education is it is trustworthy and verifiable credentials, immutable, laser, stored tamper-proof degrees and micro-credentials that are essentially verifiable by the employer worldwide. Decentralized trust and privacy is there. No single authority control records learners all their data with cryptographic privacy and selective disclosure. So this is the very basic technology which is now coming in the education sector to enhance the challenges, to enhance the records-based challenges in that. The introduction and background of global education demand of more rising accessibility, deep customization, and vertical trust. Traditional institutions struggle to keep pace with learners who need borderless, lifelong, and personalized pathways. Decentralized AI universities combine blockchain-backed credential with AI-driven learning to deliver student-focused, globally recognized education models, free from geographic and institution variance. Like we have presently, we have we have internet, which is a network of networks, and with the help of this, we can have online education, and we can have use AI as a tool to deliver the various with the help of various AI tools. You can deliver the lectures anywhere around the world. So this is the basic concept behind this theory. So research gap and study objectives are the few integrated blockchain AI education system, limited research on this is the research gap in my study. So global credentials, validation remain unsolved, deep personalization and stage is unexplored. Some research gap is there, but it can be overcome in the future. So weak evidence on equity and digital divide impact. I had studied my study objectives, define a unified blockchain AI model. So this model makes the student to give good education system and as a AI decentralized universities. So AI tools can give these type of education as online to evaluate feasibility, equity, and scalability. Map education to work transition workflow and design tamper-proof global credential systems. It will make. So artificial intelligence role in learning. The learning we have learning agent we have real-time assessment at a time. Like if we have the internet all over the world, we can take any of the country and we can then deliver any of the lecture from here to anywhere, from one place to other place. So personal pathway is there, learner autonomy is there, adaptive content is there, sir. So these are the artificial role in AI role in learning is there. So SWOT analysis there, I had made a SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity and challenges as a key concept is there. To strength is deep customization, borderless access, where we can have any type of anywhere we can reach all around the world, transparent credentials, low code delivery. This is the strengths, weaknesses, technology dependency. We are dependent on the technology. Like if we don't have the connection of internet, we cannot deliver the lecture at all. Regulatory challenges is there, digital divide, big days is there, adoption learning curve is there, opportunity to skill democratization is that we can take any lecture from any good professors from anywhere around the world. Global talent pipeline is there, micro credential market is there, lifelong learning economy is there. When challenges some challenges are there, data privacy and security is there. We cannot do data privacy, and we have some security issues in that. Trust in AI decisions, projection awareness, and cross-border governance. Some of the are there. And model of decentralized AI is this. We have adaptive learning, knowledge and graph and smart conduct more AI learning agents we can have, and blockchain credential repository we have. This is the model of decentralized AI universities, which I had proposed in my study. And education to work or transition flow and stakeholder data, learner, educator, employer, and government. So my pastel analysis is as political. It is we can take it anywhere around the world. Cross-border recognition, national credential policy, and regulatory acceptance of decentralized platform. We can have economic. It is very not very costly. We can have new microcontroller market and reduce institution and overheads. Like if we have the internet connection, and we have some AI tools which is free of cost in the market, we can deliver any kind of lecture with the help of these tools. And socially, equitable access, lifelong learning, and shifting attitudes towards digital credentials. Technologically, like from today to 10 years back, technologically we have after lockdown we have totally dependent on these technologies like internet and all that. So AI tools have given maturity to this kind of techniques. Blockchain scalability, interoperability, and project scalability. Legally, it is also valid. Data protection laws, accreditation, framework, and smart contact liabilities it can have. Environmentally, it is also good because we can connect all the person of all around the world to deliver our lectures. This is pastel analysis, sir. Then recommendation, government recognition. Government has to recognize this kind of things to the students. Formally recognize AI-based AI blockchain, national qualification level, and hiring standards. Second, institution pilots, launch control and pilot program to validate model and evidence to refine governance. Sir. Global accreditation alliances, build cross-border alliances for shared standard mutual credential and recognition. Sir. And fourth, supporting policy and supports. Fund the digital, like we need funds for organizing the things, and it does not require too much fund. We have the connection, we have the lectures. We connect and share our thoughts with the help of AI university, decentralized AI universities. Concluding future decision is there. The decentralized AI universities uses unite blockchain, trust, and AI personalization to deliver borderless anywhere around the world, equitable and customized education. That's my education. Like the education from the outside world, the outside of the country, we can get it easily on the internet with the help of AI tools and customized education, realizing the vision, demand, sustainable multi-stakeholder engagement. Sir. So the future of education is not yet placed to go. It is belong to. This is the main concept of AI universities, the AI decentralized universities. Any questions, sir?
Is that it? You have completed your presentation, Mr. Sachin, Dr. Sachin?
Yeah. I had finished my presentation.
Okay, so my first question to you is that how does your topic relate to the theme of the international conference?
No. It is like I had shared the my paper and it is accepted, and then I'm ready to do that, sir.
No, but I want to hear it from you that how does your paper relate to the theme of the conference?
Sir, it is theme is good, and my paper related to with this AI decentralized university, sir. It is a technical paper.
No, but do we have any theme in the conference which relates to this paper?
Yes, sir.
Which part of that?
Technology, sir.
Technology.
Yes.
Actually, the theme of the conference reads one thing, which is digital disruptions. And AI is one kind of a digital disruption, right?
Yes.
So is this a secondary based paper?
This is a primary paper, sir, not secondary.
Primary paper.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your final take in one sentence? That what is this AI in education going to do ultimately? Is it going to replace the physical classroom? Is it going to replace the human intellect?
It is not giving the physical transfer. Physical transformation is there, but we can connect very wide audiences with the help of these AI tools to deliver our thoughts, to deliver our views, to deliver our lectures. This is all about. As an AI tool, decentralized universities.
Okay. One thing is that what is the limitation of the research which you have conducted?
Pardon, sir?
What is the limitation of your research?
The limitation of my research is that data is not proper in that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. May I leave? Hello?
Thank you, Dr. Sachin.
Okay, ma'am.
Now our next participant is Dr. Priya Agarwal. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I can't. I am not able to open my video camera.
Wait, ma'am. Just a minute, ma'am.
Yes, but they don't have the parents now. May I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Priya Agarwal, and today I am presenting my research paper titled Integrating Experiential Learning Models to Improve Listening Skills and Empirical Study Based on Agile-Based Forms of Experience. The main purpose is this study to examine whether experiential learning activities can improve students' listening skills more effectively rather than traditional lecture-based teaching. Why listening skills matter? listening skills are very important because in today's what we have observed that there are some students who have passive learning. They don't want to listen. So that's why I took this topic, Edger-Dale Cons of Experience. Next, research problem. The problem is that many students have poor listening skills, not because they lack ability, but because the teaching methods don't actively involve them. Traditionally, lectures often reduce attention and classroom participation. Therefore, I wanted to explore whether experiential learning could make students more attentive, engaged, and better listeners. Now, I will explain Edger-Dale's cons of experience. Because my research is based on this model, so what I have observed that if we inculcate various activities like role play, demonstrations, field visits, audiovisual aids, pictures, then the students pay more attention and they understand better as compared while we are delivering the lectures. Like in today's generation, in today's time, we are delivering lecture by projector, and sometimes if it is required, we it is connected by internet. So sometimes we open the YouTube link, so they better understand the things. What I found from my literature review that role plays and storytelling. Storytelling is the most important thing. While we correlate one thing to the another thing, then the students understand better and they learn the stories. Multimedia and audiovisual aids. Audiovisual, it plays a very important role when the students are observing. They are seeing pictures and they are also listening. Just we have observed that while we are watching movies, then we better understand as compared to while we are listening something. Simulations and confidence. It is very, very important because through simulation, we do practices. So these are my research objectives: to assess the skills of the students, to identify the key barriers, what are the challenges faced by the students, apply Dale's Cons experience scale, and measure the effectiveness. So I have taken hypothesis. First one is null hypothesis and second one is a alternate hypothesis. In the null hypothesis, which is denoted by H0, I have taken there is no significant relationship between Edger-Dale Con of experience and the improvement of students' listening skills. And the alternative hypothesis I have taken that there is a significant positive relationship exists between the Edger-Dale's Cons of experience and improve the students' learning. So I have taken two groups. First one, I have conducted the pre-test and I have prepared a questionnaire. 61 students have filled the questionnaire, and accordingly, what I understood, first I conduct the pre-test. It is based on the questionnaire, and students first completed a pre-test. Then they participated in experiential learning activities such as role plays, discussions, storytelling, and case studies, presentations, and multimedia learning. Finally, a post-test analysis done, and I have compared the results. Next, experiential learning activities, which I usually inculcate in my class: role plays and simulation activities, discussions and storytelling, audiovisual and multimedia, then case studies and presentations. The study reveals consistent, meaningful improvements across all 6 dimensions of listening and communication. First one is listening skills. Because while we conduct these activities in the class, then the students' learning improve. They learn better and they understand better. Attentiveness. it is also increased because if I have conducted the role play activity, then the students, they learn better because they perform better. Then these are the things they remind for the long term. Comprehension, better understanding of spoken content, memory retention, participation, because participation is necessary. Suppose I have conducted an activity, subject enrichment activity I have conducted. So participation of all the students are necessary. So they all participate. If the participation increase, they speak, then they learn better. And it also create confidence. While the students come in front of the students, come on the stage, then obviously confidence develop. What the evidences tells us, active learning drives listening because through these activities, active learning occurs. Real life experiences deepens understanding because we are we are discussing the case of anything. So we students learn better, understand better. Multimedia amplifies engagement. Through multimedia, through audiovisual, engagement increase. Experiential methods outperform lectures. Next is a conclusion. Conclusion, this study demonstrates that Edger's cons of experience is an effective framework for improving students' listening skills. Students learn better by doing. Experiential learning increase participation. Audiovisual tools also improve comprehension. Teachers should use learn-centered approaches. And I would recommend, like to recommend, there are some activities while we should do while teaching. Use role play activities, include multimedia in our teaching. Organize field visit. We can send the students for the survey. Encourage discussions and focus on experiential learning. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for presenting. Can you come to your first slide, the title slide?
Sure, sir. This one?
So, Dr. Priya, how does your theme here relate to the theme of the conference?
Because there is a technological development and the theme was related to digitally or AI. That's why
Okay.
I have related this topic with the theme. Because there is a technological development and we can use these techniques in our class.
Okay, good, very good. Come to your experimental design part.
This one?
Please click. Next to that. Next slide.
Literature.
Next slide. Next slide. You have talked about some experimental design right here. Which one of these have you used?
Sorry, repeat again.
You have used pre-test, right?
Right.
And you have post-test analysis.
Right, sir.
So did you control for the variable? Was there a control variable involved?
Yes, I have taken the control variables.
Okay. And what was the major impediment or hassle in defining that control variable? What was the major problem in defining that control variable?
So one thing, I have used purposive sampling. I mean, sample was too short. 61 students. I have collected the data of the 61 students. So those students who were attending the class regularly, I have taken only those students. After then, I have done the post-analysis, post-test on that students.
Okay.
Then I have compared those students who were not attending and those students who were attending the class. So that's why I found the comparison.
So attendance was a control variable, you mean to say?
Right, sir.
Okay. Now tell me one thing, that it also depends on an individual's capacity to engage the audience, to make it more entertaining, to make it more relevant to the session? It also depends on the learner's capacity
Yes, sir.
to be involved. So how do you say that these factors were controlled for?
So there are various variables which depends upon the students and as well as the speakers. Sometimes speakers or the sometimes speakers, while they are speaking something, so they engage more audience. Sometimes speaker is saying something and the audience, they are not engaged. As well as it's for the students. Some students, they actively participate and some students, they don't participate. So there are the various points, various things which I have taken in my questionnaire, through
Okay,
which
thank you, ma'am.
I
And
have
how
done.
did you come to the sample size of 61?
Sir, actually, because I have shared with the 2-3 class students, but I got the responses of only 61 students. That's why I have taken the 61
Okay,
students.
so you didn't use any scientific method to calculate the sample size?
Sir, I have used a reliability test for this.
No, not the reliability. I am saying any statistical method or formula to calculate the sample size. That how much would be sufficient?
No, sir.
No problem. And what do you mean by purposive sampling?
Because I have heard one theory, here et al. Theory, and he said that sample size of 60 students, it is adequate for the reliability test.
Okay. What do you mean by purposive sampling?
Purposive sampling is the part of known probability sampling. Purposely, the data, if it is collected, then I have analyzed. I think so.
No, is it the same as convenience sampling?
Sir, convenient sampling is that which is easy. While we can collect from our near and dear, whatever we are collecting.
And what is
That
purpose?
easily
And
is easily.
what is purposive sampling?
That's my intention or the purpose to collect these samples.
So
I'm confused.
your purposive sample population was a set of students, right?
Right, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Priya. So our next participant is Miss Aditi. After that, Shivangi Singh, kindly be ready.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just a second. Yeah, can you see my slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Aditi Burwa and I will be presenting the paper Surveillance Capitalism, Literature Review of Data Extraction, Digital Power and Privacy in the Information Age. So to give you an introduction, today, digital technologies have become an inseparable part of our lives. We use smartphones, search engines, social media platforms, online shopping websites such as Amazon, and even digital payment systems almost every day, right? So, what happens is that although these technologies are giving us convenience and innovation, they are also collecting continuous information about us. These include private information. Every click, search, even our location is being tracked. And this actually creates a lot of information about us, about our behavior. Some we give out because we intentionally give out, and then some data is being collected, which we unwittingly gave out. For example, our location, for example. This has led to the emergence of what a Harvard scholar, Shoshana Zuboff, calls surveillance capitalism. she calls it as an economic system where human experience is transformed into behavioral data, and then that data is monetized for commercial purposes. So essentially, all our human activities that we do online, it is treated as data, and this data predicts our behavioral patterns, which is then utilized by corporations for their profit-making purposes. So this raises concerns regarding privacy, autonomy, and also kind of creates a lot of concerns regarding governance of our data. So that is the background of the study. On the outset, I would like to say that this is a preliminary investigation into the concept. So the reason where we started, this is a literature review, and in this literature review, we just review the concept to understand the nuances so that we can have a comprehensive understanding about it. So in this literature review, we also look at the debates concerning this particular phenomenon. The idea is also to identify nuances and themes and to find research gaps so that we can we can frame a better research frameworks for an empirical study later on. In this slide, that is conceptual foundation, we would like to explain how the surveillance capitalism works. It begins with the human experience. So every online activity, whether it be browsing the internet, posting on social media, shopping online, or even simply carrying your smartphone, it generates data, right? So this data is collected and analyzed to identify patterns. Artificial intelligence and machine learning plays a very important role here, is that it transforms these patterns into prediction about our future behavior as well. Finally, these predictions then become commercial products that companies sell to the advertisers and businesses. So very simply, we can understand this, that human experience becomes the data, data becomes prediction, and prediction becomes the profit. In our literature review, the major nuance or the theme that comes out is that of data extraction. So researchers call this as datafication, where ordinary human activities are converted into digital information. The literature that we reviewed showed that many users are unaware of how extensively their data were being collected. Some data, they give it out by themselves, but other data gets collected without their knowledge. Long privacy policies are there, right? And they are very complicated in their wordings, which kind of prevents them from giving an informed consent. So as a result, what happens is that companies have enormous amounts of data about their users, whereas the users have very less information about how their personal data is being used. So the next theme that emerges is that of prediction and privacy. So the collected data not only is used for understanding the users, but it also is used for influencing their future behavior. So algorithms recommend videos, for example, products are also recommended, advertisements, and even news today are being fed to the users and based on their individual preferences. So although personalization is convenient for giving service to the users, it also raises ethical concerns. So this brings a very important area of study that is regarding privacy, consent, algorithmic bias, and data ownership concerns when we talk about surveillance capitalism. The next major theme that comes out is that of platform power and democracy. So as we know, most of the data that is being collected, or the most prominent social media tools that we use, is that of Google, Meta, Amazon, etc. So all of these platforms, which are mostly US based, they have monopolistic tendencies, right? So because they have so much of information, almost millions and billions of users, they have a lot of information, and then they can target the people to for their profit making purposes. In fact, one of the things we need to realize here, and one of the scandal that is related to surveillance capitalism, is the scandal regarding Cambridge Analytica, where the information was given out from of the Facebook users, and then they were targeted for political rigging. And These are the major themes which comes out, or the nuances that are being studied when we talk about surveillance capitalism. Besides that, literature review also shows certain critics about the surveillance capitalism. First is that this is not a new kind of capitalism. Sure, capitalism has always been there. Sure, the way in which it was developed was different, right? In earlier times, physical resources were used. Nowadays, the user data has become the main asset for capitalism. The second criticism that is faced by surveillance capitalism concept is that it underestimates user agency. We cannot just say that users do not use or do not safeguard themselves. They can use VPN. They may also turn off their location, etc. So many of the critics of surveillance capitalism concept also show that Shoshana Zuboff has underestimated user agency. And lastly, all of the literature review shows that most of the studies are Western centric. That means they are mostly studied in places like USA or in Canada. So there's a Western focus there, which means that it is very under studied in places like India or other emerging economies. So this brings us to the research gap. Is that one is that studies about surveillance capitalism needs to be conducted in developing countries like India. Long-term AI impacts may be studied. Vulnerable groups, especially children's privacy, should be studied when we are talking about surveillance capitalism. Interdisciplinary research can be integrated for studying this. And lastly, biometric surveillance can also be studied with regard to surveillance capitalism, such as Internet of Things or even neuromarketing. So these are the research gap. And based on this research gap, since we have already said, one of the biggest limitations of this particular paper is that it only focuses on a handful of secondary data. So we need to develop a framework for an empirical study. So hopefully these research gaps will be utilized so that we can frame it better. In conclusion, we'd like to say that personal data has become a core economic asset today. Surveillance capitalism not only shapes the market economy, but it also shapes society as well. And therefore, stronger governance and future research is very much essential. Thank you.
Yes, Anjali, can you please come to slide number 5?
Slide number 5. Yes.
What is this prefix coming at the bottom left corner?
Oh, here. Actually, I did it from the template for this. I picked it from Canva. So I think I forgot to remove that. So that's why it's there.
It should have been taken care of.
Yes, absolutely. My mistake. Even now, I just realized it when you told me about it. I seems to have disregarded it. Sorry.
Okay, and let me tell you one thing that we are in a lot of discussion and debate about
Yeah.
privacy and intrusion concerns into one's personal space.
Yes.
But do you think that the current generation is going to accept anything which is non-invasive in terms of privacy? They love to have hints, nudges, suggestions based on their consumption pattern.
Yeah.
So is it meaningful to discuss anything about data intrusion, data privacy, one's personal privacy?
I mean, it's all, when we talk about the market, such as the user, if we take it as a consumer itself, we know that consumers have different propensities, right? For example, one customer will never be the same as the other. So I believe, depending on the segment of users, I think it needs to be studied. For example, there are some people who don't really care about their privacy because they know they are going to be using the social media anyway. But then again, there are certain people who are still skeptical about it, which is healthy skepticism. So sure, I think it needs to be studied.
Okay. Why did the research gaps come later in the study? They should have come a bit earlier, right?
Actually, this was this is actually the study itself was done so that we could identify the gaps. Actually, that was one of the objectives. The main reason why we started, this is a preliminary investigation, right? So we have a handful of papers that we selected from 2015 to 2025, which was used for building our conceptual understanding. Think of it like a working paper. So this is just one part of the study that we want to do later on. So basically, we want to do an empirical study, but to develop a robust empirical framework, we are doing this particular literature review.
So when
So,
you when you're
yeah.
going to concretize the study in the future, what kind of a research design do you foresee?
Currently, we are looking at, for example, as you said, right, who would be, for example, we have to first define the population. So, what I'm looking at is that, other thing that we have seen here is that, I think one of the key areas we can look at is children's privacy, which means they
No,
are
no,
the
no. I'm
vulnerable ones.
talking about the research design which you would use for the
Ah,
study.
Research design, first of all, it will have to be exploratory. So, I'm thinking,
That's it. That's it. I got the answer. Good. Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aditi. Our next participant is Shivangi Singh. Vidhavi Bharadwaj, kindly be ready. Shivangi Singh,
Am I audible?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Today, I'm going to present a paper on role of sustainable education in present scenario. So, starting with the sustainable education, basically it has become essential for the economic overall growth and the prosperity. It refers to meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet to meet their own needs. Basically, we're studying this why the sustainable education is needed. That is, there's a need to improve the experiential learning among the students. So basically, higher education plays a very important role in integrating the sustainability into the teaching, research, campus operations, and in the community outreach. So as we see the scenario, it is not an option, it has become a necessity. That's the main reason we have taken up this study. So background of the study was that we were facing several interconnected challenges, for example, climate change, environmental degradation, poverty, inequality, depletion of natural resources. As we can see in the National Education Policy 2020, they have emphasized the need for the sustainable education, and we need to incorporate those policies into our education system. Moving on to the problem statement, there is an inadequate curriculum integration, limited institutional commitment, insufficient faculty training, lack of practical sustainability initiatives. So these challenges need to reduce the effectiveness of higher education in contributing towards sustainable development goals. Because everywhere we're talking about the sustainable education, but how it is going to be implemented in our institutions and what action should be taken and how we can implement in an effective manner, that is what we need. So basically, there were three objectives which we have focused upon, as it is a primary study on the sustainable education. So examine the role of higher education institutions in achieving the sustainable development goals, because SDG 14, SDG 15, 16, 17, they all have been emphasizing on the, promoting the quality of education, diversity, inclusion. So how are we going to do that? We're going to study this. The next objective is to identify the major challenges in implementing a sustainable education. So we have done a certain review as we have, as it is a primary study, we have been going through the topic that what has been done and what needs to be done and what are the actions needs to be taken, and we have what are the areas or what are the domains which need to focus upon. So in 2023, Peters have conducted a systematic literature review in which he has emphasized that sustainability education should move beyond technical knowledge to include system thinking, ethics, and interdisciplinary learning. And they should cultivate an environment of sustainability mindset through the curriculum redesign and the experiential learning. Say, for example, as of now, we are, giving the presentation to the hybrid mode. So this is also one of the example of the sustainable education. We need to promote that. Then there's a Baker 2025. He has identified five major themes. They have identified higher education more sustainable. They have talked about digital pedagogy, transformative teaching tools, digital literacy, social inclusion, well-being, even in fact, they were including institutional resilience. That is how institutions going to behave. As we might have seen during the COVID-19 era, the classes were in the hybrid mode. So how people were adopting to that. So it has become a more focused. Then there was TAFSI and COP in 2025, which they have conducted a bibliometric review of education for sustainable development research and reported a rapid global increase in publications linking the higher education with sustainable development goal. Actually, the people are studying the sustainable education, but how they're implementing, nobody is talking about. So then there was systematic review on higher education sustainability in 2025. They have taken 566 peer-reviewed studies in order to, that they have emphasized that sustainability in higher education must go beyond the classroom teaching to governance, institutional operations, financial planning, and community engagement. Similarly, Mohanty 2018 have explained the education for sustainable development, and they have proposed a conceptual model of sustainable education for the India, emphasizing that quality education is essential for achieving the inclusive and sustainable national development. In Norgad in 2018 have combined the ecological and sociological imagination that enable learners to address sustainability problems from both environmental and social perspectives, leading to more comprehensive long-term solutions. In the similar manner, Kessel in 2016, they have emphasized that we need management education should foster a sustainability mindset by connecting values, thinking. We need to take some actions in order to prepare the responsible future leaders. They have argued that management education should foster a sustainability mindset by combining all these things. So basically, why we have the gap which we have identified, that limited attention has been given to the holistic role of higher education institutions in simultaneously promoting environmental, social, and economic sustainability while preparing students for sustainability leaders. So basically, we are in this research, we have been, as we're going through a lot of papers, and we have taken up the decided to take up the qualitative in order to collect the data from the faculties who are actually taking the classes and the students who are out. So we will be focusing on that. What is the qualitative, what are the thoughts, what are the opinion on the sustainable education, and what is the gap, whether are they being committed towards that or not, are they being practiced in the institutions or not. So we need to find out that. So we have identified there are three pillars of sustainable development. The first one is economic sustainability, which has emphasized on efficient use of resources, innovation, long-term economic growth. Then there's social sustainability, which promotes equality, inclusion, education, health, and improved quality of life. Because as you will see, there were 5 main SDG goals which were actually connected with this education part. The third is education, environmental sustainability, which are focused on protecting biodiversity, conserving natural resources, reducing pollution, combating climate change. So how we actually are going to focus on these things? We need to adopt the concept of the experiential learning. We need to teach our students how to do that, because then only they will be learn and they will be able to practice the sustainability in the real life situations. Now, what is the role of education in sustainable development? Education contributes to sustainable development in multiple ways. It enhances the sustainability literacy by providing knowledge about environment, economic, social issues, encourages social behavior, ethical values, and responsible decision making, develop critical thinking, problem solving skills in order to adopt these sustainable challenges. Education also promotes innovation, research, and community. Now, these are the goals which I was talking about. So education is directly connected with the sustainable development goals. It supports SDG 4, which focuses on quality education, how we are going to do that. For that, we have been adopting the NEP National Economic Policy 2019. Then it contributes to SDG 5 by promoting the gender equality, that each and every person should be equality. They should be given the right to take the decisions. They should, give their own say. It supports SDG 8 through skill development and decent employment. As government had adopted various skill development, they have been providing various startup opportunities to the people to take an initiative to start their work their own. Education also promotes responsible consumption under SDG 12, climate action under 13, and peaceful and inclusive societies under 16. So therefore, education acts as the foundation for achieving almost all the sustainable development goals. So there have been certain challenges of sustainable education, despite its importance. Many institutions face financial constraints and lack administrative support for doing that. Faculty members often require additional training to effectively teach sustainability. There's also resistance to curriculum changes, limited interdisciplinary collaboration, insufficient stakeholder participation. So overcoming these barriers requires institutional commitment, policy support, and the long-term investment on the institution's part. So we have recommended, in order to strengthen the sustainable education, universities should integrate sustainability into academic disciplines rather than offering it as a separate subject. And faculty members should receive regular training on education for sustainable development. Strong partnership with industries, NGOs, and local communities should be developed to provide students with practical sustainability experiences. Then regular assessment and monitoring should also be conducted to evaluate institutions' sustainability performance. So basically, we are concluding with the remark that it is one of the most powerful tools for addressing today's global challenges, and higher education institutions must move beyond the traditional teaching method by embedding sustainability into curriculum, research, governance, and institutional culture. By promoting the critical thinking, ethical values, and responsible leadership, universities can prepare graduates who actively contribute to achieving the sustainable development goal. In essence, investing in sustainable education today means investing in a more equitable, resilient, and sustainable future generations to come. So these are the references we have been through. As this is a primary study, we have been going through a number of papers. Thank you.
So,
Yes.
Dr. Shivangi, one question to you is that
Yes,
in
sir.
this ever evolving and changing world,
Mhm.
how do we talk about sustainable education in the long term? Because we are not sure what will happen tomorrow, what technologies will come, what political developments will take place, what would the level of intellect of the students, what pedagogies would be relevant in the future.
So I don't think that we will be, after we have adopted so much of technology, we will be looking back and we will be having any technology. I believe we are growing towards the growth. We have been a forward-looking society. So I don't think that will be there. But yes, in this manner, no, sustainable education has changed a lot of things. Say, for example, initially, I think when in our phase and when I can see, we needed books to read, to prepare for the exams. But nowadays, students can do anything. They can learn everything. Even in fact, if I wanted to learn something, I don't have to go in a physical move to attend some FTP program or some conference thing. I can learn virtually. Even in fact, the experts from my area, what they have to say regarding a topic. Say, for example, I wanted to learn something machine learning, and I'm stuck in my this work environment. You can say that I cannot take leave. So in that manner, it is helping me. They are actually helping me in growing in future. For the growth of I can go for my growth. I can develop new skills. I can learn from the people who are actually sitting opposite to my side. So I believe it is there. It is quite helping a people who actually want to learn something, who actually want to develop something in them. They are using that. It has helped us a lot. We don't have to go
Okay,
through
okay.
bunch of people.
One last question. What would you rate more important? The efficacy of the education or the sustainability of the education?
That's a tough question. I think I'll go for the sustainability in education.
Okay, thank you so much for your time and inputs, Dr. Shivangi. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shivangi. Next participant is Medhavi Bhardwaj. After that, Amara, kindly be ready.
So good afternoon, everyone. My topic is intelligent inventory monitoring and stock optimization in a smart warehouse using IoT and emerging technologies. So this is my PhD topic on which I have already made a review paper for the same. So cold storage. First of all, I want to tell you about the cold storage. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So cold storage is the most essential system for keeping all peripheral items that can be food, medicine, and biological samples. So cold storage or warehouses are normally made for the first of all for food, medicine, and biological samples. Like according to the history, 40% according to the research, 40% of food is waste every year due to only lack of cold storage. So these are some pictures of cold storage. This is internal pictures, and this is outside pictures. This all everything is made by panels. So the problem is that traditional warehouses has manual inventory tracking human error, delayed decision making, overstocking, stock out, and inefficient resource utilization. So I am working on the same. If there is a lack of real-time monitoring, then inventory visibility issue. That means we cannot easily visible for those things. Inventory what we are putting in the cold storage and how मतलब क्या जा रहा है क्या निकल रहा है, we cannot fully visible on the same. Manual stock counting, human error. Obviously, when we are counting the number of things manually, there can be a chance of human error. Poor demand forecasting, that concern to the overstock and stock out. Delayed response, order fulfillment delay, and the data security issue, that is supply chain risk. This problem is solved by using blockchain. So my research objective are develop an IoT based framework. I want to develop an IoT based framework where I can use my RFID tags that can be count my all the things. Then and by these IoT tags, I can check that that particular inventory is belong to which vendor, where it wants to go. Build a deep learning based prediction analytics model, that is LSTM. By using this, we can accurately find the inventory decisions, like by the history, which by the seasons, which inventory is most essential now a time, which should be stock in my cold storage. Then reduce the latency of automatic stock alert, that is done by edge computing. And the fourth one is blockchain based security, that my things are coming from farm to fork. So all the process is done by blockchain. Their security is done by blockchain. Then the literature review that I found by reading many papers, that is lack of an integrated smart warehouse framework. That now a time we are having some papers that are working on RFID tags, but it is costly. First of all, it is costly and everything's in every, like we are talking about a potato, then on every packet we cannot put RFID tags. It become costly, but it will cost minimum to minimum 2 rupees for one packet. So I am making the tags which is in printed form. And the research gap it, I want to mix IoT, AI, edge computing, and blockchain all in the same thing. I am working on that. Practically, I am also working. Second one is limited real-time inventory visibility. Traditional inventory system depends on manual update and periodic stock changing. So we cannot continuously collect stock availability, protect movement, storage condition, environment parameters. Next is research instead of predictive inventory management. Currently, we have a current warehouse system most respond after inventory problems occur. That means we do not have future forecast demand, predict inventory requirement, predict in the we should know the what will be the future demand, and according to that we put the things in this. That is done by LSTM. Then cloud based, now a time everything is stored on cloud only. So by using edge computing, we can process data near the source, reduce latency, genetic instant inventory alert and improve system responsiveness. Then lack of secure inventory data management by using here I am using my blockchain that as I say that I am working on farm to fork. So my blockchain will increase my data transparency. It is from it is coming and from it will go. The all security is done by blockchain only. So same existing limitations are separate use of IoT blockchain technology. So I have to integrate it. Then manual reactive inventory management. So predictive analytic based decisions, limited real time monitoring to continuous IoT based visibility, cloud processing delay because we have to bring data from the cloud. So edge enables low latency response, data security concern, blockchain based security storage. So I'm using this RFID tag temperature sensor humidity. I want to use RFID tag. I'm already using RFID tag, but I want to use temperature sensors, humidity, weight, barcode. And the function is real-time stock tracking, environmental monitoring, automatic update. That's what I'm getting. So RFID based tracking system automatically identification, faster inventory counting, reduce human error. Obviously, when everything is monitored by RFID tag, so it will reduce human intervention. So the application is manufacturing, warehouse, retail, supply chain, and logistics centers. LSTM based SIA that it is working on future demand prediction. So by using this LSTM, we will predict the needs, demands in future. So it high prediction accuracy. So role of edge computing, local data processing, reduce communication delay, faster stock alert, improve reliability. Blockchain is used for data security, secure transaction traceability, and trust among supply chain partners. So these are the tools I will use. Research methodologies, what I am doing, problem identification, literature analysis framework, IoT data, AI model, and performance evaluation. So by using my these four problems, by four objective, I want to inventory visibility increase. It will increase my inventory visibility. Stock out rate will be reduced. Decision speed is improved. Operational cost is reduced, and accuracy is increased. So the conclusion is the proposed IoT and AI-driven smart warehouse framework provide intelligent inventory monitoring, predicate stock optimization, automatic decision making, improve supply chain efficiency. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Medha Bhardwaj, nice presentation, very engaging topic.
Thank you, sir.
How does your study benefit the consumer?
Sir, I belongs to my husband belongs to same field. He's a cold storage manufacturer, and these are the real time problems that he suffers nowadays. And we are making same type of project on these topics that we are using RFID tag by in a printed form. And now we want to initialize the process of AI ML using AI ML. We can proceed this project also.
One more thing, how does the current modernization using these techniques improve upon the traditional transportation problem or the CPM method?
Sir, it happens. It happens many times. In a mid when we send some items from cold storage to some other place, then someone in the midway will open my things. So that's time I use my RFID tags, which is not no much costly, but due to the changes in the RFID, I can initialize that. When we are purchasing like potato, the quality of potato is very good. When I am sending to other vendors, then in midway someone changed my things, so I can recognize this is not my material.
Can we safely say that your tag is totally tamper proof?
Sir, it is. I think it is. Initially, I am working on RFID tags.
Any
only.
hackathon which you might have planned to check whether somebody could tamper your tag?
Sir, actually, the first project that I am saying that I am working for RFID tag, I am using it, We have a company of IT. We have I have a relative which have a company of IT, and we are using SeguVisit and Segu Cold Storage of already made, which are using this inventory control proposition. And in future, I will do AIML in the same.
How does it help in automatic inventory management?
So it will help in automatic inventory management. Is like with using these tags only. When I use this tag in particular place, that if a cold storage like a big, as I have a big cold storage, and on different places we are using different RFID tags. When we put my things at there, the RFID tag can tell me that this luggage, yeah, this things belongs to which person, how much it is. So all these inventory is done by RFID tag. So there is no use for manual human intervenence. Plus, if someone we have tomato. टमाटो इज मतलब टमाटो सर मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ कि टमाटो एक ऐसी चीज है जो हम 6 महीने से ज्यादा नहीं रख सकते. वी कांट पुट इट फॉर 6 मंथ. सो इफ अगर कोई नॉर्मल ह्यूमन है वो भूल गया कि हाँ टमाटोज रखे हुए हैं और वो खराब होने की मतलब वो RFID टैग विल टेल अस कि इट्स ओवर टाइम, you should use it or send it somewhere. So this everything is done by RFID tags.
Very good. Thank you. You were quite able to express your answers comprehensively.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, you have only 5 minutes to present your research. Kindly manage your time accordingly and conclude your presentation within the allocated time. Next participant is Amara.
Hello. Wait,
Mm.
sorry, I'm just sure.
After that, Amita, kindly be ready.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amara Biaubre, and today I will be presenting my research titled Can Artificial Intelligence Bridge the Attitude Gap in Sustainable Fashion Consumption? This study explores whether AI can encourage consumers to move beyond simply caring about sustainability and actually purchasing sustainable fashion. Fashion is responsible for around 8 to 10% of global carbon emissions, yet many consumers who say they care about sustainability don't actually buy sustainable clothing. This difference is called the attitude behavioral gap. My research investigates whether AI-powered tools such as personalized recommendations and virtual assistants can help reduce this gap and encourage more sustainable purchasing decisions. Previous research shows that environmental awareness, social influence, and trust all affect sustainable purchasing. However, there is limited research on how AI specifically influences consumer behavior in sustainable fashion, and this gap in literature become the focus of my study. I used a quantitative research design with an online questionnaire. The survey collected responses from consumers using a Likert scale to measure attitudes towards sustainability, AI, recommendations, trust, purchase, intention, and actual purchasing behavior. This data was analyzed using reliability testing, correlation analysis, regression, and ANOVA. So these are all the examples. And then I developed 6 hypotheses in total. The first 3 examine whether environmental awareness, AI attitudes, and purchase intention affect sustainable fashion purchases. The remaining hypothesis investigates whether trust in AI recommendations, perceived usefulness, and all variables combined influence in actual purchasing behavior. So I'll now move on to the statistical analysis and discuss the results for each hypothesis. So before testing the hypothesis, I checked that the data was reliable and suitable for analysis. I used descriptive statistics, Pearson correlation, multiple regression, and ANOVA. These tests allowed me to understand the relationships between the variables and determine which factors had the greatest influence, as you can see here. And then the results showed a strong positive relationship between positive attitudes toward sustainable fashion and purchase intention. The model was statistically significant, supporting hypothesis 2, and this means that consumers with more positive attitudes were much more likely to intend to buy sustainable fashion. Like you can see the numbers all over. And then hypothesis 3 examined whether purchase intention predicts actual sustainable purchasing. The results were highly significant, showing that purchase intention is one of the strongest predictors of actual purchasing behavior. Therefore, hypothesis 3 was accepted. Hypothesis 4 looked at trust in AI recommendations. The findings showed that greater trust in AI significantly increased sustainable purchasing behavior. This suggests that consumers are more willing to follow AI recommendations when they believe they are reliable. Hypothesis 5 examined the perceived usefulness of AI recommendations. The results showed that the consumers believe AI provides useful recommendations. They are more likely to purchase sustainable fashion. This hypothesis was also supported. Finally, I tested all variables together. The combined model explained a large proportion of consumer behavior, with purchase intention remaining the strongest predictor. Overall, the findings suggest that AI can reduce the attitude behavior gap by increasing trust, usefulness, and purchase intention. In conclusion, the first 3 hypotheses demonstrated that environmental awareness, positive attitudes, and purchase intention all contribute to sustainable fashion purchasing. These findings highlight the importance of encouraging positive consumer attitudes alongside environmental education. The remaining hypothesis showed that AI recommendations, consumer trust, and perceived usefulness also positively influences purchasing behavior. Overall, my research suggests that AI has the potential to help consumers make more sustainable fashion choices and narrow the gap between what people believe and what they actually do. And here are my references. Thank you very much for listening. Yeah, hello? Hello, I finished speaking.
The first slide, the title slide.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I can't hear you that clearly.
Please come to your first slide, your
Yes.
first page.
Yes.
So what prompted you to take this topic?
I was thinking that AI recommendation systems, they act as a digital distribution channel. They determine which sustainable fashion product consumers see, and this study shows that trust and usefulness in these AI-driven channels directly influence whether consumers like actually purchase.
Okay, so you are still in the nascent state of your study. I think so. It's a part of your thesis, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I would have just changed the sector, if it would not have been for fashion, but for, let's say, something else, would the approach to the study be different? Would you take a different methodology? Would you take a different sample?
Yes, I would, because fashion is a very different market to the other markets. And with fashion, like it, as I like mentioned, it like depends a lot on trust and like what people see. But if it was another market, then like I couldn't really use the quantitative research. I think there have to be other ways to go through with that.
Do you think fashion can be sustainable? I doubt that.
I think fashion can be sustainable because like obviously like if you're using materials that could be made from plastic, then yeah, or you could even like reuse this. I think it can be sustainable.
No, because by the word in itself, inherently fashion means something which is uh, changing, something which is maybe a style statement. So people have this habit of buying, using, and throwing away very fast, right? You don't repeat that
Yeah.
dress the second day. So then,
Yeah,
then,
it's,
then what is sustainable about that?
I think fashion can be sustainable, but with real tensions and limits worth being upfront about. So,
Pardon?
I think sustainable materials have real environmental costs, like organic cotton uses, they have more land and water, but the scale is the real issue.
No, but that is what I'm saying. You know, fashion relates to a heavy consumption. And you know, whenever you have heavy consumption, you have lots of environmental consequences. So earlier we used to
Yes,
see our parents and grandparents having a limited number of dresses in their wardrobes. But today's generation, you know, they want to change every day, every quarter. So they have lots of dresses, lots of combinations possible. So aren't we putting a tremendous load on the environment in terms of trying to fulfill our needs for garments, for accessories, for fashion per se?
yes, true. Due to like the trends changing, obviously the fashion trends do change, so
So what is
it's
your
could
take
be.
on that? What is your advice to people? You have used AI for studying the bridging or studying and how to bridge the gap between attitude and behavior. But what is your advice to the current generation in trying to be more responsible about sustainable consumption of fashion?
My advice would be not to just like to, if you're buying sustainable fashion, then to aim to use it for a very long period of time, like rather than just throwing things away if the trend changes, because people do tend to do that. So the longer you keep the fashion, obviously, it will be better for the environment.
Okay. What is the limitation of your study, Ms. Amara?
The limitation of my study is that I think many people would I sorry, it was the self-reported data because this study relies entirely on the Likert scale, and the questionnaire, meaning measures like what people like, not observed real purchases. And this is a common critique of attitude behavior gap research.
Why did you take a 7-point Likert scale and not a 5-point Likert scale?
I took a 7-point Likert scale because I think that then there's like a range of more answers. So rather than being like
So you
limited
know
with
one
just
thing,
one
Ms.
to
Amara, that in a Likert scale, the fundamental problem is that the difference between 0 and 1 and 2 on paper is really 1. But
yes.
when it comes to implicit consumer attitude, habits, behavior, perceptions, motivation, the real difference is not commensurate with the difference on paper. For example, if I'm neutral towards something, and then I say I agree, is much more of an impact than something between agree and strongly agree.
Yes, true, but I used a 7-point Likert scale because I think there's a greater variance and
Did you
sensitivity.
take that 7 point because you wanted to mitigate this risk? This was the reason you took 7-point scale?
I just wanted a greater variance, and it's better for regression and
Greater
correlation
reliance
analysis.
on your study, right? That is what you wanted.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amara. Our next participant is Miss Nikita. Miss Amita.
Come to the first slide, please. Please show the first slide. Okay, thank you so much. You can start, please. You can start the presentation. You are not audible, Amita.
Hello.
Are you on mute?
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, you are audible. Please continue.
Okay. Can I start, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. My name Amita Jain. My topic is mathematical approach to lightweight cryptography using non-linear boundary value problem. So my topic is consists two terms. Mathematical term is non-linearity, and second term is consist with computer science lightweight cryptography. So, what is the motivation for selecting that? The rapid growth of Internet of Things has introduced billions of concert devices such as smart sensors, wearable devices, and so many things. These devices has limited processing power, memory, and battery life, making traditional encryption algorithm like AES and RAS computationally expensively. Therefore, the main question behind the research is, can non-linear boundary value problem provide a lightweight yet secure cryptographic alternative for such concentrate environment? So the background is that the lightweight cryptography is widely used in IoT system, rapid text, wireless sensor networks, and so many devices. Existing lightweight algorithms such as Zen, Simon, SPAC, GIFT, and Skinny mainly depend on substitution permutation networks or algebraic operators. Although these algorithms are efficient, they do not utilize the mathematical properties of nonlinear boundary value problem. This observation motivate to me proposed research direction. So research gap is what exists: algebraic cryptography, coarse-based cryptography, lattice-based cryptography, SV networks. What is the missing? From the literature review, we found that researchers have extensively studied algebraic cryptography, coarse-based cryptography, Pestel networks, and lattice based method. There is almost no work on using non-linear boundary value problem or differential equations as the foundation for lightweight cryptographic transformation. This research aims to fill that gap by introducing new mathematical framework for encryption. So my research objectives are, my first objective is study the theoretical properties of non-linear boundary value problem, including existence, uniqueness, and sustainability of solution. The second, to develop a cryptographic framework. The cryptographic framework is formulate theoretical lightweight cipher grounded in with the base of non-linear boundary value problem. We use the non-linearity as a key secret. When we change the non-linear boundary condition, the message encryption is affected. The third is to encode the secret key using boundary condition and non-linear parameters. And fourth is to generate ciphertext from the numerical solution sequence. Fifth is to evaluate the proposed framework in the terms of security, key sensitivity, diffusion, and computational efficiency. So my mathematical foundation and what is the model of my research? The proposed method is based on the non-linear boundary value problem, where the non-linear function governs the system and the boundary condition act as secret parameter. So just I write here y double dash x plus fx by y dash equal to 0 is my non-linear boundary value problem. And the conditions y alpha equal to alpha, y b equal to beta. When first of step, when we plain text convert into initial boundary value problem and just we found the solution. And when somebody wants to encrypt the message, so he applied the boundary condition. If the boundary conditions are not exact, then the solution is not come correct. So that one is the mathematical model. In the proposed cryptography, first I told in the previous slide. In this slide, I am the plain text in the original data to encrypt. Key encoding means I apply the solution on with the help of my non-linearity boundary value conditions. Then the construct the non-linear boundary value problem and original after the original solutions, and the message decryption depends on my boundary condition. That one, for the find the solution, I am using there are available so many methods are finite difference method, shooting method, Runge-Kutta method, Newton iteration, improving shooting method. Finally, I am using the shooting method to find the solution and to encrypt and decrypt the message. The proposed encryption framework consists of several stages. We begin with the plain text and encode the secret key as boundary condition together the non-linear coefficient. Using these parameters, a non-linear boundary value problem is constructed and solved numerically using an appropriate solver. The resulting numerical solution is normalized and converted into ciphertext during decryption. The exact boundary condition and non-linear parameter are required to recover the original plain text. So cryptographic transformation and security analysis. Different non-linear function can be selected depending on the application, while numerical techniques such as finite difference method, shooting method, Runge-Kutta method, and Newton iteration, improving shooting method are used to obtain the solution. From a security perspective, the non-linear equation provides strong non-linearity, while the boundary condition ensure high key sensitivity. The framework also satisfied the principle of confusion and diffusion and is expected to resist linear, differential, and statistical attacks because even a teeny change in key generates an entirely different ciphertext. So that one is by computationally complexity. If I am doing any change in the boundary condition, then message encrypt decrypt is not correct. That one is the comprehensive study. The first mathematical basis and present mathematical basis for SPN, Crystal, and RAX. And the proposed is non-linear boundary value problem. So conclusion is that in the conclusion, the research introduced a novel mathematical approach that established a connection between non-linear boundary value problem and lightweight cryptography. Instead of relying on traditional algebraic structure, the proposed framework uses boundary condition as secret key and numerical solution as ciphertext because it offers high key sensitivity and linear memory complexity and polynomial computational complexity. It has strong potential for future implementation in IoT and other resources constrained environments. Thank you.
It's primarily a mathematical paper. Why did you approach any mathematics conference?
The recent, I find there is my topic is also related to AI because now that time message encryption decryption is related to AI tools. So I relate my topic to that conference and I present here.
Okay. Why is non-linear important here?
No, here is non-linearity is important because from the non-linearity, when we have the differential equation in the second order, partial order, the solution of linear, if I present the just first of all, my research is on the dependent on lightweight cryptography. Lightweight cryptography, suppose that I am saying hello. So I create the code word matrix and convert it into differential equation. And just here I put the two different secret key. I find the solution that one has become ciphertext and somebody wants to encrypt that message. So he applied the same boundary condition. Then he decrypted the message. Otherwise, message is not decoded.
Can you explain the relevance of this work to a layman in a single sentence or two?
Yes, sir. That one is very important because that time is IoT devices are very important. That they have less memory space and computational speed, and the expense is very low because so many algorithms are available, but they have the security and computational problem. Some easily they hide. Easily somebody is encrypt and decrypt message, but non-linearity is very important. It's create a tough task to encrypt message easily. Encryption to decryption. Because everybody knows, just if somebody knows the secret key, suppose for the message, encrypt to decrypt, we need the key. And their key role is like non-linearity and the boundary conditions.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Miss Amita. Our next participant is Miss Nikita.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just quickly share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Nikita, and today I'll be presenting my paper on digital warfare and cybersecurity in India, the emerging threats, challenges, and policy responses towards it. So, to begin with, if we take the case of India, India is the fifth most digitalized economy in the world, as we know. According to the 2026 State of India's Digital Economy Report, so uh, we are coming at the fifth position. So also we are considered as the most digitalized economy globally. uh, Taking the case of UPI transactions, every there and now we are using UPIs. Everybody is using UPI transactions, the QR scans and everything. Uh, Next, in 2025, if we take the data of CERTN. So basically, when we talk about digitalization and when we talk about all this digital transformation, the most important thing which is coming in recent time is a cost associated with that, which is cyber security and cyber crimes. So in 2025, if we talk about the data, CERTN handled over 29.44 lakhs cyber incidents, uh, and the NCRB data shows that the registered cybercrime cases touched 86,420. So it's just the number which has been registered. There can be multiple cases which go unnoticed and which is not registered yet. So the next thing is we'll talk about the dimensions of digital warfare in India. The To understand this thing properly, I'll just break down this warfare in the Indian context into five dimensions. First is the attacks on critical infrastructure like power, banking, telecom, transportation, health, defense sectors, etc. Second is cybercrime and financial frauds, which directly targets the citizens and business, which we very often see in newspapers and on social media. The third is the data breaches and privacy concerns, which includes personal, financial, and biometric information. The fourth one is misinformation and information warfare, like the fake news, which we see, the deep fakes, which is being circulated so easily on social media. The last dimension is uh, the cyber espionage, which targets our defense, our research department, policy, and a government institution. The main point here is that digital warfare doesn't only gets away with the military or defense issue. It's an economical, social, and governance challenge as well. If we see the cyber security trends in India, we can see the on the left we have the CERT tracked cyber security incidents, which we can see is rising from 14 lakhs in 2022 to nearly 29.5 lakhs in 2025. That's just more than double in just 3 years. On the right, we have the NCRB's registered cybercrime cases, which shows somehow the same pattern, which we can see it's climbing steadily from 45,000, approx 45,000 in 2019 to over 86,000 in 2023. Also, it is also getting doubled in the 5 years. This rise reflects growing internet and digital payment adoption, but also we need to have better detection and reporting systems. Now, the major emerging threats which we have seen is the most visible is the financial cyber fraud, where the UPI and the QR code scam happens. Then the SIM swapping, which is very frequent and very recent one, fake investment apps, which we can see, and digital arrest scams. The digital arrest is a very common thing, which we see on social media, which we see on news nowadays. Uh, Alongside this, phishing and social engineering remain the most common entry point, exploiting human psychology rather than just technical weaknesses. We are also seeing ransomware disrupt in hospitals and institutions, direct attack on critical infrastructure, large scale data breaches, and increasingly misinformation and deepfakes that threaten public trust and social harmony. In the next slide, we have seen the problems as of now, but we'll see now the India's institutional and policy response. Uh, the a very good and important news is that India is not just sitting idle. Rather, it has built a fairly robust institutional response to the cyber crimes which are happening now and then. CERT in its CERT in our national nodal agency, uh, which comes under MeitY and under the Section 70B of the IT Act. It is working towards. It is working very hard to eliminate the problems. So the full form for it, and the major work it does is Indian Computing Emergency Response Team. It leads that. uh, the next one is NCIIPC. It protects our critical information infrastructure. At the policy level, the National Cyber Security Policy of 2013 provides the strategic framework, while the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 gives us a legal basis for data protection and accountability and for citizens directly. So this is the uh, a brief uh, a brief of CERT specifically, where we can see the CERT in has solved handled over 29.44 lakhs cases. Also, it has issued 11530 security alerts, 390 vulnerability notes issues, and 65 advisories it has issued. And this particular organization hasn't gone unnoticed globally. The World Economic Forum, the University of Oxford, and France ANSSI have all acknowledged India's leadership in AI-driven threat detection and cyber resilience. Institutionally, we are making some real progress. We'll see the findings. So the major findings are, the first is the digital warfare has expanded beyond traditional security. So it now affects citizens, businesses, everyone. It is affecting actually everyone. Then the financial fraud is the most visible threat. We only talk about the different threats from like wars and different sort of things, but in today India's financial fraud is also a very major visible threat, because the large digital payment ecosystem which we are having is is heavily exploited through a lot of social engineering and impersonation. With this increment and with this involvement of technology, awareness also matters as much as the technology. Institutional institutional framework has improved significantly. The third founding is that, with the implication of CERT and 14C, NCIIPC, and multiple forensic labs, audits, and mock drills. So they are showing that we are also having a good cyber security architecture along with a good digital architecture. Policy development has also strengthened. The NCSP 2013 and DP Act 2023 provides strategy and legal grounding. The last finding is the cybersecurity is a shared responsibility, and government cannot secure cyberspace. We as the citizens, the banks, the institutions must also participate while ensuring the cybersecurity. The challenges which limits the India's cyber resilience are, the first and foremost is lower cyber awareness. So people are not aware that much, especially the old age people. They share OTPs, they click on unknown links. So there are multiple cases like this floating here and now. So next is the shortage of skilled professionals as well. So we have very less people who are trained forensic experts who can deal with the hackers and who can do ethical hacking and investigations. uh, so there are also difficulty in attributions, and the last is the coordination gap. The responses do not come that much early. So the suggestions which I have incorporated is that we can build cyber awareness in schools, workplaces, and and also the in regional languages wherever we are targeting, making it easier to report crimes by promoting some helpline, developing a skilled workforce through structured training in forensics and cyber law is also important, securing critical infrastructure through regular audits and simulations, deploying AI for cyber defense to detect phishing and abnormal behavior faster than humans can. So AI can be also incorporated. And finally, strengthening international cooperations in cybersecurity rarely respects border. To conclude, we can uh, conclude that a secure digital India needs more than technology. It also needs responsibility from we as a citizens, strong legal frameworks, well-trained institutions, and continuous policy innovations. Now we need to move from a reactive posture to a proactive one. So cybersecurity also has to be treated as a shared national responsibility, not something government alone can deliver, but something institutions, we citizens, and industry can build together. So that's all. Thank you. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Sakshi, I think it was a very nice, engaging presentation. But in spite of all these steps which are in place and what you propose and intend, so in case of financial frauds, if we have been able to succumb to the lure and the bait of the employee, the dollar, the money is not reverted so easily. What is your take on that?
Yes, sir, that also can be, in my opinion, can be a problem. Like we have seen multiple times that uh, if also the RBI is giving us certain uh, things, like if you report this particular activity or this particular thing within certain time frame, then you can get back your money. Like it's one of the recent advancements which we I have come across, that RBI says that if in case of any financial fraud, if you contact the bank and contact the particular financial agency within 72 hours or particular time frame, then you can get back the money. So there are provisions, the government is also working towards it, so that the money is also restored, the money is also taken back, like we don't lose the money. So
Yeah. This is the era, sometimes the era of the dark web. So is it possible to trace the individually linked people over the dark web through your suggestions?
sir, if we are working, uh, like as I said, we are not having a lot of professionals. We are not having a lot of skilled professionals who are so much skilled that they get through the dark web. But if we educate them, if we try and incorporate a lot of education towards cybersecurity threats and all these things, then the young generation, then the people who are interested in these activities, I think they will be able to trace all those activities. And
Okay, thank you so much.
okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Nikita. Next participant is Miss Vimla Sharma.
Can you please show the first line?
Hello. Sir, my voice is audible or not? Good afternoon, everyone.
Please put the slide on the slideshow mode.
Okay, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience, sir. Respected sir, ma'am, good afternoon, and my fellow researchers. I am Vimla Sharma, research scholar at Sanskriti University. Today, I am presenting my research paper titled Assessing the Role of Artificial Intelligence in Shaping Modern Economic Development. Artificial intelligence has become one of the most transformative technologies of the 21st century. Traditionally, economic development depended on industrialization, capital accumulation, labor productivity, and innovation. However, in today's digital economy, AI has emerged as a key driver of productivity, competitiveness, industrial transformation, and sustainable economic growth. This motivated us to really examine how AI contributes to modern economic development. So, moving to the literature review, in the previous study by Agin et al. And McPhee, the other confirms that AI improves productivity, innovation, and decision making while transforming industries and labor market. However, these studies mainly examine these dimensions separately. Very few studies provide a comprehensive framework that integrates economic growth, industrial transformation, labor transition, digital inequality, sustainability, and India's AI policy initiatives. As after the study, the research gap, basically the three major objectives suggest to examine the role of artificial intelligence in promoting modern economic development and industrial productivity. And the second one, to evaluate the impact of artificial intelligence on labor market, employment pattern, overall economic growth, to identify the challenges, policy implications, future directions for achieving sustainable AI-driven economic development. Two, as regard the research methodology of my study, adopted a qualitative research design using systematic literature review following the PRISMA framework. We collected the data from Google Scholars, Scopus, Web of Science, World Bank, Niti Aayog, India AI Mission reports. Initially, 214 records were identified after screening the eligibility assessment. 21 high quality studies were included in my final review. The collected data analyzed, basically the thematic analysis, content analysis, and open code analysis. The thematic analysis, basically, five major themes are there. AI as a driver of economic growth. Theme two, productivity of and industrial transformation, labor market transformation, digital inequality and policy challenges. Fifth, sustainable and responsible AI development. As we conclude here, the thematic analysis show that AI is a powerful driver of economic development through productivity, innovation, industrial transformation, and sustainability. However, its benefit depends on strong digital infrastructure, effective governance, skilled human capital, inclusive public policies, as content analysis focuses on the documented related to artificial intelligence economic growth in India. Secondary data were collected from government publications, including Niti Aayog, Press Information Bureau, and India AI Mission Report, as the open code analysis basically focuses on, for example, AI as a growth engine for Viksit Bharat. Like initial code is economic growth. AI improves manufacturing services, productivity improvement, demand for AI talent, reskill, employment transformation, support for startup
MSME business competitiveness. So on. And as we studied the challenges of AI in economic development, like the one is labor displacement and skill gaps. Automation may replace the routine jobs, increasing the need of for reskills and upskills. But the second challenge is digital inequality. This is the most important challenge as we found in the near future as AI in economic development. And the third is ethical concern and rhythmic biases, data governance and privacy issues, infrastructure and financial constraint, regularities and government governance gaps. As every study has some limitations. So the limitation of my study is based only on the secondary data. As I really focused on the primary survey also, but here the limitation is the secondary data. And the second is that AI is a rapidly evolving field. So finding may change over time. Policy analysis limited in to India. Niti Aayog, India AI Mission and PIB. No quantitative or econometric analysis was concluded here. So thank you so much for listening very patiently, sir.
If we were asking you to summarize your study in a couple of sentences, how would you summarize?
So basically, overall study says that the AI in near future is a very recommendable elements or factor. We can say it is a driven factors. So we need to integrate all the things like innovations, labor productivities and industrialization, so we can easily say that it is a actually driven factor for the economic development, because economic development is not only for the one sector's development, it is all about the 360-degree angle we need to consider.
Would you call AI the factor of economic development or enabler of economic development?
No, it's not a factor. As I believe after the study, it is enable the economic development.
Okay. So can we put AI as something which is indispensable now towards economic development, that we cannot develop at all without the AI?
In today's no, sir. Each and everything evolving around the AI, I believe.
You have any data to show that what was our status before the use of AI, what is after the use of AI? Any scientific evidence?
Yes, sir. Actually, as before the AI, we are basically focuses on these scenario like infrastructure. We are very focused on the infrastructures and educations or productivity as well. But the definition of productivity before AI is different, and nowadays we are call that the productivity is all about the cost minimizations concepts are there, cost efficiencies concepts are there. So that's why we are not what we can say that we need to add the AI as a driven factors.
No economic development can take place without the human effort. And I believe that
Yeah,
AI,
that's true, sir.
AI is replacing and making the humans mundane, irrelevant, and lazy to some extent.
But AI is
What's your take
also,
on that?
sir, the results of human work, I believe.
Okay, Mima, thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Vimla. Thank you to everyone who presented their papers. With these respected chair, distinguished delegates, esteemed presenters, and dear participants. As we come to the conclusion of this technical session, it is my privilege to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed session chair. Thank you, sir. Sir, your insightful observation, thoughtful moderation, and effective management of the session ensured that every presentation was conducted smoothly and every discussion remained engaging and meaningful. On behalf of the organizing committee of Don Bosco DelhiCon 2026 and everyone present here, I extend our sincere appreciation for sparing your valuable time, sharing your knowledge, and guiding this technical session with such professionalism and dedication. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Reverend Professor Sajan and George, Chairman DBIT, for his visionary leadership and unwavering support. I sincerely thank Professor Vikas Rao Vadi for his constant support throughout the conference. My special thanks goes to Professor Shalu Tandon, Vice Principal DBIT, for her invaluable guidance and continuous support. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to Dr. Amandeep Arora and Ms. Charanpreet Kaur, conveners of Don Bosco Delicon 2026, for their dedicated effort, meticulous planning, and commitment in making this conference a grand success. With this, I conclude the vote of thanks. Thank you to all the participants for their gracious presence, active participation, and valuable contributions to the success of this technical session. We wish you a pleasant day ahead and look forward to your continued association with Don Bosco Delicon in the future. Thank you once again and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sakshi. And
Thank you, sir.
thank you for inviting us to this very thematic conference, especially in the current world of conflicts and turmoil. Thank you.
Please switch on your cameras for the photograph. Thank you so much.